You want to hear the kicker? Oh my gosh. We have heard now for 2 months, no voter fraud in 2020, no election questions. If you dare question the election, you're an insurrectionist, you're a traitor, murderer, rapist. You need to be deplatformed, you need to be kicked off of the air, you need to be kicked out of polite society. So there's a hotly contested congressional race in New York right now. This is in New York's 22nd. It's a race between Anthony Brindisi and Claudia Tenney, who I actually happen to know from New York politics. So Claudia Tenney had the seat, then Brindisi wins it. Now it looks like Tenney's going to win it again because Brindisi, the Democrat, is just behind. The Democrats are alleging voter fraud. Specifically, they're alleging that the voting machines are throwing the election to the Republican and demanding a recount. These candidates are separated by 122 ballots. And the Democrats, while they are saying that any questioning of voter integrity, and in particular, any questions of voting machines, you got now billion-dollar lawsuits over voting machine fraud claims. While they're saying that those are completely illegitimate and you basically need to be banished to a faraway island if you bring them up, they're making the same claims themselves. Because they always do this sort of thing. And it just reminds me of these squishy Republicans who follow the Democrats' line here where they say, oh no, we have to agree with the Democrats. We can't bring up the question of fraud. That's wrong. We can't do that. We got to play by the rules here. Democrats don't believe that. They're making the same claims when it suits their purposes. Republicans just don't get it. They think that Democrats are being on the level when they are opposing these claims of voter fraud. Right? When we're talking about voter fraud in the 2020 election, some people are making these very, very extreme claims, some might say outlandish claims, about mass fraud in the machines and the CIA is involved and it's in Germany and it's, who knows, there's space aliens involved, right? There are extreme claims, but then there are the claims that are right before our very eyes, which are undeniable, namely, Democratic election officials in Pennsylvania broke the law. They violated the state constitution, which clearly prohibits widespread mail-in ballots. How about the election poll watchers who were sent home illegitimately, Republican watchers sent home in Philadelphia? How about those videos we saw of election officials putting cardboard in the windows so that people who were outside couldn't see what was going on in the counts? How about the water main break, right? The pipe leaking that sent home the election officials in certain counties. All these little things, far more tangible. You can point to them. Meanwhile, Democrats are making more outlandish claims about voter fraud, just in New York's 22nd congressional race. And there are two kinds of Republicans. There are the Republicans who recognize that the Democrats are being cynical and they're being cheap and that we should be skeptical of their efforts to take away election integrity measures. Those are the good, tough, serious, conservative Republicans. And then there are the squishes. There are the squishy Republicans. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the subscribe button so everyone wading through the wasteland of YouTube knows that we've got the absolute top content out there.